Hey team, wanted to make a quick video because I read this book, so another little book club entry. I thought it was interesting. It is called Bizarre Botanicals, and I thought it was really cool. It showcased a bunch of different unique plants. Some of them I had heard of. I have seen, I think like leafy spurge, and of course you've heard of the Venus flytrap and a couple different ones. So it was cool. They had a whole section on orchids. They had different sections about different things that made plants unique. So it talked about just various things: carnivorous plants, tropical plants, heart-shaped plants, and just things like that. So I liked it. I think a lot of them were very far-fetched to me, like, wow, what? But it was cool. And they had sections about a bunch of different tropical, exotic foreign plants. And so I thought that was great to just see different things. I learned about a little more about like root ball structures, as well as cacti versus what were they called? Euphorbias, I think is what it was. But just, it talked about the defense mechanisms in, the desert. Obviously, living creatures are going to be desperate for moisture, desperate for water in the desert, which is why the desert plants did develop the spikes and the pokies, the needles, to protect themselves from being eaten by any passing by animals. But it did talk about too how the water inside those plants are not easily accessible, and how a lot of those plants will also make you sick. Like they have like poisonous or goop in there, so they might not kill you, I don't know, but you might not be able to eat cacti in order to survive in the desert because they have that moisture, but some of them are toxic. So they're all just trying to protect themselves so that way they can live and thrive in a desert region without being eaten by predators. So we are the predators, even when we're out in the desert, and we're not built for it. So I thought that was cool. They had cool root structures, root balls that can be underground. It talked about like a region, like the root ball, essentially in between the roots and the main structure of the plants. So I thought that was interesting. I can dig into that a little more. I haven't done too much research on that. I'm talking about succulents. Which the euphorbias, I think, is, if I gotta find the official term, but yeah, and so it was cool. Very, very interesting. Just a few things that were kind of new. I'm not an encyclopedia, so I'm not going to just remember all of these plants long term and be like, oh yes, that's the blah, blah, blah. But it gave me a few interesting jumping off points, and I think that they are interesting enough that they can appeal to a younger audience too, and they're outliers in our, especially, in Minnesota, our native region. So they can kind of spark imagination and that thrill to find those new plants and explore and compare and contrast and things like that. So overall, I think it was a cute book and interesting too. So I found a couple of jumping off points that I can research further, which is great. So woohoo! Have you read any books about plants lately? Let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.